Presented by Forgotten Entertainment. This month we're checking out everything that happened in March. I'm Pat Whalen. With me is Shamar Griffith, who is the co-host of the upcoming yet another DC animated movie podcast. How you doing, Shamar?
Doing great and happy to be here. Happy to be a part of the family of this whole great thing that we're doing, and glad to talk about these DC animated shows that are coming up soon.
Nice. And then we also have Anders Drew with us. Anders is the co-host of both yet another Star Wars podcast and the charmingly nerdy Bohemian Geek Studies. So what's going on?
Hey Pat, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. So a lot happened this month, and I think we got a lot to talk about. A lot happened. So let's just dive right into it with the first topic. Figured we'd kick it off with some of the Marvel stuff. WandaVision series finale happened early March. What'd you guys think? Were you excited about it? Were you disappointed by some of the conspiracy theories not coming true?
I will definitlike say that I was hurt because I had so many theories about it and they were all wrong. It was like as if I was doing March Madness or some other kind of thing and everything fell apart. But I'm really glad at how it came out. I think it really set up a lot. It also left a lot of unanswered questions for me that hopefully with either Doctor Strange or Spider-Man or even with Falcon and Winter Soldier, maybe you get answered there.
Fingers crossed, there's got to be a lot more for her story.
Right.
Definitely. The way they left it. It absolutely opens it up for the next part. I mean, I loved the finale. I liked the entire run. It was just fun. It was different. I will watch Kathryn Hahn and Elizabeth Olsen in just about anything. And if they want to fly around and fire magic at each other, all the better.
Yeah.
Maybe people were a little too forgiving of Wanda for, mind controlling the entire town and then just being like, all right, it'll be all right.
They had the nice little moment in there where like Monica's like, if that were me, I would have done it too. It's like, okay, but that doesn't excuse either of you. You're still very guilty of this.
It doesn't excuse her. And let's be real here. She's an Avenger. Where's their grief counselor? Where is do they not have insurance?
There's a lot of questions there. It's just like, what happened in the 5-year jump? But it's like, I think everything just fell apart. Hopefully there should have been something because clearly they just had the government just took over with taking over Vision's body and everything. I'm sorry, that was a spoiler for anybody who hasn't seen the show quite yet.
All right, so before we go any further, there will be spoilers for a bunch of stuff tonight.
Yes.
Everything from WandaVision.
Stepping on another topic though, I mean, Bucky gets a therapist. Why not Wanda?
You know what? That is very true.
That is a good point. Both of which are fugitives. Because she blew up an embassy in what was it? Lagos, Nigeria?
Yeah.
So she blew up the embassy. So she was a fugitive, and then Bucky clearly was a fugitive. He gets a court-mandated therapist. Where's Wanda's? That's a good point. Everybody's positive on WandaVision?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
So switching to our other favorite heroes who need some therapy.
But they're getting it.
They are getting it. Falcon and Winter Soldier premiered just about 2 weeks after WandaVision ended in this infinite cycle of continuous Marvel content that's keeping me in business for a while. What do you guys think of the first couple episodes so far?
I'm liking them. I gotta say, these seem much more like a standard MCU movie, just kind of an action movie that they broke up into the episodes, but I'm absolutely here for it. It's pure adrenaline content. My only other kind of downside points to these, similar to the therapist, Falcon can't get a bank loan, but Spider-Man was just like gifted a private jet with pilot with a laboratory. I mean, come on.
It's just
so many things, but Shamar, go ahead. What were we gonna say?
Yeah, I was like, they're there for the philanthropy because I'm thinking about was it Aunt May's, the foundation for the people who were displaced during the blip. Yep. And the Tony Stark internship program where it's just like we're there for the philanthropy, we're not there for our workers. So unfortunately, But I will say that the first episode was a bit of a slow start for me, but as soon as I started watching the second episode, it was like, this is it. This is the Marvel stories that I love. The banter between Bucky and Sam is just pure enjoyment, and I love it. I'm here for it. I'm hoping that this continues on. I'm hoping we get a chance to see more of that, more of the therapist that was there, because I think that's gonna really open up some doors between Sam and Bucky, especially because, you know, now we have what's his name? We have John Walker and Battlestar, which that personally, as a comic book reader, that was very deep in the back of my mind. I saw him, I was like, I think I know this person. And then it was like, oh, right, there was this guy.
Yeah. And they, you know, there are so many things. First of all, like the psychiatrist coming back in. I think you're right. I want to see more of her. I want to see more of the two actually in therapy together. Like, if as much as the first episode was a slow start, I'd love for an entire episode just to be the two of them sitting in therapy together. Yeah, so we got a couple deep cuts though, and so far I think they're pulling from, I don't know if you guys have read the Sam Wilson Captain America comics.
Yeah.
So far, what do you guys think about hashtag not my cap? Is it your cap, or are you gonna play it slow with them? That right there is a reaction.
I don't know. I mean, I'm very interested because he seems like when he first comes on the screen, the way they introduce him, you're set up to hate him. But he actually seems like a decent guy that, you know, maybe something else is going to happen that makes him a little bit more of a dick. I don't know. He seems like he's being set up. He's being set up to be some kind of an antagonist, I would say. Yeah. But he seems like he's in it for the right reasons, at least to start.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's not mine only because Sam got the shield. I'm a little upset that he did give it over to the Smithsonian. I feel like, you know, handing over something that powerful to a museum is probably not the best thing to do. But
he watched Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade one too many times. He's like, it belongs in a museum.
It's true.
But, you know, John Walker isn't my cap. I agree they did set him up to be kind of a villain. I could kind of see also that, you know, they tried to make him a bit likable by showing he's this, you know, he's kind of like an everyman of the army. And that's why I'm kind of glad they did call out. It's just like, did John Walker run over to stop the grenade from blowing up and other things like that? I think that was a very nice callback to, you know, Steve Rogers' just entire origin as Captain America. So as of right now, he's not my cap, but he has to earn my heart. That's what I feel.
Yeah,
that's fair. I think I was leaning towards him, and he said, you know, I followed you guys here when they were on the heist, and then at the end of it, stay the hell out of my way. And I'm like, you followed them. So that's kind of where he lost my vote.
Major stepped down when he pulled out the gun.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you're not good with only the shield, then you don't deserve the shield.
Yeah. So sticking with Disney Plus network, let's transition to everybody's favorite team of misfits, Mighty Ducks Game Changers.
Yes. So pumped for this.
The sequel everybody asked for, but wasn't really sure how it was going to happen. It's here. And is it a game changer? Sorry, I had to do that.
I appreciate that. I think it has the potential. It was a lot of fun to watch personally when I was watching it, because it was just like, I love the kid that's on the show, the kid that runs the podcast. I think he just has the charisma to run that entire show, honestly. And I'm still hoping to see a bit more of this, like, how did the Mighty Ducks kind of transform into this new version of themselves, and how what are they called? The
Hawks?
What are they called, the Hawks?
Oh, from the first series? Yeah.
The Hawks were the powerhouse before then.
Right, yes. Right. Yeah, so it's just like, how did they become the Hawks now? And then it's just like, how will this new batch of ducks, the don't bothers, how are they gonna grow throughout this entire thing? And it has that like Disney cheesiness that I kind of like. I'll admit it. So I'm excited for this.
Absolutely. I mean, look, guys, D2 is one of the best sports movies that has ever been made.
Right there.
Right? So good. And I mean, this first episode was just so much fun.
Yeah.
It had the perfect balance of some nostalgia, very much like a Disney-ified Cobra Kai.
Oh, yes.
It had a little bit of that Little Giants in it. They went back to the playbook.
Yes.
Little Giants. Mm-hmm. Let's just do this with the Mighty Ducks.
Pretty much. And then, I mean, I'll admit, Parenthood is one of my favorite shows of all time. So anytime a cast member from there does something, I'm pretty excited. So to see Lauren Graham there. The one knock I'll give it is I'm not too hyped up on the Don't Bothers as the team name. But I am holding out on the theory that Coach T is in fact Riley, and this is all part of the Letterkenny extended universe.
And we're dropping more theories here, folks.
Absolutely.
See if they get through by the
if you're not theorizing, what's the point?
Right, exactly. We're going to do breakdown videos after every episode of Mighty Ducks Game Changer, figuring out where this ties into the Letterkenny universe and how Mephisto comes into play here. Literally, he's going to be on the ice. We can go all night on Mighty Ducks. I got a couple more questions because I really want these answered.
Mm-hmm.
Best Mighty Ducks logo. The original green with the duck skating, the D2 one, or I guess you could also go with the Pro Hockey one, which is a lot more angular, now has some orange in it, or this current Game Changers one, because this Game Changers one is pretty nice. It's evil, but it's nice.
It is. I also was hoping that you listed out the animated series one too.
I got another question.
Okay, I was just gonna say, it was just like that was my favorite one, to be honest. But I think I will actually go with D2.
Yeah, I'm going with D2 because that's the one where they all come together. Because ducks fly together.
They do.
They will bring back the quack by the end of the season. They have to.
Absolutely. Speaking of the animated series, because when everybody thought about a Mighty Ducks sequel, they always thought Charlie was going to take over the team. It was going to explore some other stuff, maybe with Eden Hall. Why is the reboot that you want actually Mighty Ducks the animated series, and how do we get that?
I just want to say that Mighty Ducks the animated series had actual ducks in it.
Yes.
And Duck World.
Right. And also they were kind of like almost like Power Rangers. There were ducks who were Power Rangers who went around saving the day, and
they were Ninja Turtles, but ducks.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's just like everything I could ask. Right. It's like if you wanted to give me 80s to 90s like animation content storylines, the Mighty Ducks animated series was the pinnacle of that statement.
And Pat, you're asking how we get there. Well, I'm pretty sure Disney has just recently canceled their DuckTales reboot. So there is now a duck content void at Disney for animated ducks.
This is it.
So this is it. This is how we do it.
Yes.
Let's hope they don't make the mistake of relaunching Quack Pack.
If it's not Mighty Ducks, the only substitute I will accept is Darkwing Duck.
Which is yes. Yes. Let's get dangerous about that, because honestly, they already did it. So I've seen every episode of this new reboot, DuckTales. I will be honest about that. I love it. And Darkwing Duck has already been introduced in this thing. We have the door. So by introducing him, I know that it's not a direct connection, but that is our avenue to get to Mighty Ducks animated series reboot too. Right, Anders, we need to fill this void that that the DuckTales show has left for us for more duck content.
Until we started talking about it, I didn't realize how much duck content there was when we were growing up.
Scrooge McDuck bankrolled all of it. That's the main reason why we were able to get so much.
I'm good with that. I'm looking forward to launching the yet another DuckTales universe podcast where we talk all things.
I'm in, yeah.
DuckTales. See how Launchpad ties. He's the Phil Coulson of the DuckTales universe.
Yes.
So let's get to the biggest movie release of March, the one we were all waiting for, Coming to America. That's Coming to America.
Yes.
Did you guys even remember this came out this month?
That it was this month?
Yeah.
I remembered it came out this month. I didn't remember when, and then I remember that it was so early in the month, and I was just like, wait, but that still felt like a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely, if you had asked me, I would have definitely said February, maybe like late January is how long ago it feels like. But that's just, I mean, let's be fair, even in normal non-COVID times, March is a long month.
It is.
March takes forever.
There are no holiday breaks. So
no. Nope. So did you guys watch Coming to America?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I did.
I forgot about I was watching
You forgot.
WandaVision. I forgot about it. I was like, all right, I gotta go watch
the movie
this.
hasn't had it's a sequel to a movie that came out like 20 something years ago.
No more.
Oh
yeah.
God, more than that. We're probably pushing 35 at this point.
35? Really? Wow.
It was late 80s, right? Like 80s,
so, yeah.
86, 87. Yeah.
So.
Oh gosh, I definitely watched that movie when I was way too young.
You could say that about most 80s movies.
Yeah. They didn't have ratings. They had PG and R. That was all they had.
If it made it onto Channel 11 or it was CW Picks, whatever it's called, during that time, I watched it. So, and definitely Coming to America was one of those movies.
So is it good?
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Yeah. All right.
It has a lot of the nostalgia of the first one. My mom watched it. She loved the first movie and she loved the second movie. So I think my mom, who doesn't really like movies at all, the fact that she enjoyed it, I think you'll have a good time watching it.
We got 2 thumbs up from Shamar's mom, so I'm in. Another 80s reference.
Yeah, I mean, it was just really good to see Eddie Murphy back, kind of in his like really good comedic form.
Yes.
You know, getting over kind of the stain that stuff like Norbit maybe left on his legacy.
Pluto Nash.
Doing this, Pluto Nash. But to be back and being funny and just having a good time, that's all you can ask for.
All right. In seriousness, though, the biggest movie of the month was obviously Snydercut, Justice League, Snydercut. It's here. Fans asked for it. DC and Warner Brothers gave in. What'd you guys think? Was it worth the wait? Was it worth the 4 hours? Did it do everything you wanted it to do? That's a loaded question.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like there's a lot of heat coming towards my way, being the DC animated guy. You know, I will say I enjoyed it a lot more than I did the 2017 version. You know, I could have definitely say that there's a lot of slow motion that could have been taken out. It's it's the IGN fact that 10% of the movie was slow motion. So, you know, I think that could cut out a little bit of the 4 hours, but I enjoyed the 4 hours. I think it did a really nice job to kind of tell each character's story a little bit more compared to the 2017 version. And, you know, getting a chance to see Darkseid and that entire entry to the New Gods and the Fourth World storylines, that's something that we've never got a chance to see before done in live action. And I think really the only issue that I had with it was at the very end. The way I've been describing this film is just like, it was a punt return, a full football field punt return, and at the 1 yard line there was a fumble. I just didn't enjoy the epilogue as many people are saying that was one of the best things ever. I think we could have done without it. You know, it just felt like a lot was being put into it just to try to get everything out. It felt like it was, I know it was the Snyder cut, but also felt a bit uncut. So, but yeah, I praise it. I'll give it, if anything, 8 out of 10. I think it's a lot better than the Justice League version.
I'm pretty much all the way with you, Shamar. I liked it a lot. It was a 4 hour movie, and I mean, if you want to get into things about stuff you could cut, like, sure. cut down some of the slow-mo, just give Cyborg his own movie before this one, and we can move a lot of that to there. But as far as I thought it was really well paced for being a 4-hour movie. I was never sitting there being like, oh my God, how much more is left in this? Like I was when I sat down and actually watched The Irishman.
Oh gosh.
if I'm gonna watch a 4-hour movie, I'll take Justice League over that any day. You know, some of the CGI is still not that great, but chalk that up to it technically being made for TV for post-production at this point. But overall, I liked it just as much as I enjoyed watching it just as much as I enjoy watching any standard MCU movie. Maybe for different reasons, not quite as much humor, but that's okay. And I think it's actually because I started watching, since the original Justice League came out, I started watching much more of the animated films, the DC animated movies, all that stuff based on the New 52. I'm pretty much caught up except for the stuff within the last like 6 months, but they tend to be a little bit quote unquote darker than, you know, the original Superman animated series may have been. And that, I think, watching all those made me more open to the general idea of this sort of darker DC movie, which now I kind of want to go back and watch Man of Steel and see if I still have the same opinions on it.
I'm going to pivot a little bit just because you brought up the DC animated. They just announced the voice cast for Batman The Long Halloween.
Yes.
The
so
adaptation of the seminal Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale run. Jensen Ackles as Batman. Josh Duhamel as Harvey Dent. Liking it? Not liking it? What do you guys think?
I'm loving it. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Supernatural. I watch a lot of TV, clearly.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Supernatural, and he's in that. He jokes around about being Batman so often in that show that it was a natural transition.
I'm hyped for this cast. Yeah, I love Jensen Ackles. I loved Supernatural. You know, not Jensen, but Jared. I'm enjoying Walker on CW now, so. And then Jensen's going to be in season 3 of The Boys too. Yeah. So, and then I think I'm a little sentimental about it though, like because I think Naya Rivera is going to be the voice of Selena Kyle, Catwoman for this part. She finished that before she passed away last year, so that's going to be, I think, an interesting development. I don't know if she recorded part 2. I'm guessing not. If Catwoman's in part 2.
Yeah.
But I haven't actually read The Long Halloween, so I don't know Selena Kyle Catwoman's role throughout the whole thing. But
she does disappear halfway through. I think she makes like brief appearances at the end, but I think her storyline is somewhere in the middle, tied in with the mob families. I haven't read it in a long time, so I'd have to.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she probably recorded everything beforehand, just so that, you know, they probably didn't have to come back. I'm assuming that this was most likely recorded around the time during the start of the pandemic. So
yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just generally also, I'm really excited for the movie itself. I mean, like I said, I've never read The Long Halloween, but I do know that it is this big famous storyline in the comics. So.
It's with that, I think, you know, maybe we could head toward the close here. Do a couple quick bites. I know it came out yesterday. I think it came out yesterday.
Yep.
No spoilers. Kong, Godzilla. Who you got in the fight?
For me, it's Kong all day. Kong has shown that he can fight. I feel like Godzilla, we haven't seen that. Godzilla's always had backup. Kong has fought against the Skull Raptors? And, you know, they're basically smaller versions of Godzilla. So I feel like if you can handle that, you could handle Godzilla.
I'm going Godzilla. I mean, I feel like
Kong, Anders, I'm hurt.
I'm sorry, man. I just feel like Kong, unless Kong can somehow actually like change his size, he's one of those characters that they just play with how big he is, depending on the needs of the movie. Like a Kong that can actually take on Godzilla is not going to be just on like the top like 5 or 10 floors of the Empire State Building. He's going to be the entire Empire State Building.
True, very true.
That's a good point. What are you guys watching, listening, reading? What are you guys playing? What are you guys doing right now? You want everybody to know about?
What am I like watching, reading right now? How much time you got?
One thing, top thing.
Top thing I'm gonna say is it just went on hiatus, but Superman and Lois on
yes.
CW, great new entry into the Arrowverse. Obviously, the rest of the Arrowverse going into full swing. Supergirl and Black Lightning in the middle of their last seasons right now.
Mm-hmm.
But Superman and Lois is a very great addition, a little bit different, and exploring some aspects of Superman that I don't think we've really seen put on screen before.
I'm also watching Superman and Lois. I'm loving every time I watch it now, it kind of like I'm falling more and more in love with just like how they're portraying Superman. But the other thing I've been watching, it just came out last now, Invincible by Robert Kirkman.
Yes.
I love the series. I read the comics some time ago. I think actually that was one of the first comics I started reading at the beginning of COVID. So, and now I'm rereading them as I'm watching the show. I think the show's doing a great job so far. I know that things are a bit different, but they have excellent voice casting. I think everybody in there is just like, they chose the right people for these roles.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And I was going to say Invincible. I'll just end with, I was listening to it all day, but Justin Bieber's new album, Justice, surprisingly good.
Okay.
And I'm really digging Anyone, but and then on that, let's just wrap up. One quick thing you guys are excited for next month, for April.
Ooh, what is happening in April again? I almost said Space Jam, but I realized I think that's July.
No, I was going to say Space Jam too. I thought that was coming next month.
No. April's Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
But now I'll leave that one for you guys to use. I gotta say, I am pumped. Premieres tonight, April 1st. Law and Order SVU is back. Stabler's back for organized crime.
I will then go with Mortal Kombat. I know that it's like, who was gonna get to it first? I know it's been delayed a week, unfortunately, but I'm kind of glad to get a chance to see Jimmy Olsen from Supergirl turn into Jax, and now we got an understanding of how Jax got his arms. Like, that is awesome.
That is. I was gonna say Mortal Kombat 2. That's top of my list. I'll also add Pokemon Snap. I'm excited for the new one. That's what I got next month after Mortal Kombat, and when I watch Coming to America. All right, but that's it, guys. Thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun. We'll do it next month. But for everybody else, this is Forgotten Entertainment. If you want more of our videos, check us right here on YouTube or find our podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.